Hello everybody, this is Kevin Owens. You are watching Just Alyx. You're going to watch him review some wrestling. He's going to tell you what he thinks about it. He's going to tell you what he likes. He's going to tell you what he doesn't like. He's going to tell you who he likes. He's going to tell you who he doesn't like. He's going to say a bunch of stuff. And it's about wrestling. So if you like wrestling and you like people talking about stuff that has something to do with wrestling, you're going to love this. Just Alyx is the YouTube channel for you. And if you don't like it, don't blame me. Just blame Alyx. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just doing this for him because he asked me to do an intro. You know? Anyway, you're watching Just Alyx. Now listen to him talk about wrestling.
Login complete. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, Just Alyx, and this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review, ladies and gentlemen. We are reviewing the Monday Night edition of, I think it's May 13th of 2024. We are quarterfinals, right? We are doing the quarterfinals of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments this week for both Raw and a SmackDown. And things are heating up. What I love about the way Triple H does tournaments, he knows how to raise the stakes with each and every new round. The matches get a little bit more competitive. They get a little bit longer. They get a little bit more hard-hitting. And I think the best thing about tournaments under Triple H is that no matter who wins or loses, everybody comes out looking just a little bit better than when they did going into it. And I think with the way things are looking for the rest of the tournament, I'm excited. The King of the Ring tournament is not one of those things that are gonna, and this is just how I see things, it's not going to increase ratings for WWE. It's not going to do big business. It's literally just an opportunity to showcase pure in-ring professional wrestling under the WWE umbrella. And for me, that's more than good enough. I thought tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw was great. It was an excellent episode for professional wrestling, because the in-ring quality was top notch, let me tell you. From all sides, men and women, everyone delivered inside the ring. No complaints whatsoever. And on top of that, we got some good storytelling as well. A lot of stories were advanced. Mr. Chad Gable's getting a little bit of that Major Pain in his character now, frying up Alpha Academy. He smacked the hell out of Otis. He hit Otis like he stole something. But man, after he hit Otis and Otis was, he got that sad pouty face on. Someone help me. You can't help but feel sorry for him. You know, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since the WWE has gotten this dark with a character, because let's just call it like it is. Chad Gable is abusing the Alpha Academy. He's physically, mentally, and verbally abusing all three of them. And they're loyal to him because Chad is their friend. And so you believe it. Because a lot of people are like, why can't he just leave Chad? Why can't Otis just turn on him? You want him to, but you understand why he didn't. Because of their long history, because of their relationship. And Chad's had this complete shit in character, and they don't know how to handle it yet. So of course they're going to be uncertain, not knowing what to do. It's going to take a while for them to break free of Chad Gable's, how dare I say, grasp, his web. But that's storytelling. And as time goes by, he's going to get even worse. He's going to abuse them even more. And he'll probably win. He should win the IC title, but he'll probably not because who knows. But I can see him winning that IC title. Then when he's champion, he's just going to treat them worse. And by that time, we'll be begging all three of the members of Alpha Academy to break away from Chad. Because by that point, he would have gotten in cahoots with the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, and that will be his crew, right? But man, the way he was talking down on, well, all three of them, but in particular, Maxine Dupree, that boy called her Taylor Not So Swift. I said, damn! That boy turned into Major Payne. You got a piece of candy in your pocket. What are you looking at, ass eyes? You plotting on me, boy? I love it. I love it. And I miss the days of heels that do shit that makes you hate them. Even if you like them as an in-ring performer, your job as the heel, your job as the villain of the story, is to make people despise you to the point that they're willing to pay money to see you get your ass whooped. And we're there now with Chad Gable. I feel like we're there. Now, as a fan, I will always be proud to be an American and a big Chad Gable fan. Shoosh. No matter what it is. But I can understand if you're the type of fan that just can't stand him right now, which is good. He's doing his job. So I'm loving that storyline. I'm also loving what they're doing with Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, but now this new wrinkle of Damian Priest. So Damian Priest is being painted as a paper champion because he didn't win it the right way. He cashed in. And Damian Priest knows that. He's aware of people seeing him as a paper champion. And so now he wants to be a legit world champ. He wants to defend this belt the right way. The storyline, of course, is that in doing so, he's losing respect with the Judgment Day, right? So, of course, this is building to a match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. I'm assuming at Clash at the Castle, where I think it's safe to say Drew wins the belt, right? Because we gotta do Drew versus CM Punk for that world title at SummerSlam, right? And then Damian Priest can go on to fight Judgment Day, and then they do something with that. So we'll figure that one out. But you see the stories, right? You see Liv Morgan continuing to cause hell for Becky Lynch, and even her friends like Lyra Valkyria. Apparently, we're doing something with Becky Lynch and Damage Control, wherever that's gonna go. Excited to see how those link up. I love the fact that during the match between Io Sky and Shayna Baszler, the fans naturally cheered for Io Sky and booed Shayna Baszler. That just lets you know that Io is just naturally a babyface. Well, under the circumstances where she turned on Bayley, yeah, she would be the heel. But outside of Bayley, Io Sky is too cool to be hated. Right? So I like that. I also like, and I don't know if we're actually going to go through with this, but I like what they did with Kofi Kingston and Karrion Kross. So Kofi Kingston lost his match to Gunther. He's out of the tournament. And then backstage, a disgruntled Kofi runs into Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross tells him, there's always time to change. Don't worry. There's always time to change. Which is a tease. I'm hoping they follow through with it. But it's a tease for a heel turn. In particular for Kofi Kingston, which he needs desperately. The New Day has lost its luster. They have been together for over 10 years, and nothing about the group has changed. It's time to change something up. Something. I think as of right now, and I could be wrong, they are the longest reigning stable. Like, after about 2 or 3 years, every stable breaks up. These guys have been together for 10 years. Kofi, Xavier, and Big E, of course. 10 years. And I think only 2 of those years, they were heels. Right? For 2 of those years, they were heels, and they were baby faces for the rest of the time period, which is baffling when you think about it. But, yeah, it's time to do something different. If Big E is not coming back anytime soon, at least, there's no reason to keep these guys together. Do something different. Do something different. Have Kofi go heel. See where that takes him. I wouldn't mind it, because they're still as hell. But I think ultimately, most of the people who are watching me, who are coming on these live streams to hear our opinions, will want me to talk about Jey Uso. Well, let me put it to you this way. You'll want me to talk about him. For what reason, it depends on how you feel about him. So let's call it like it is, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's fair to say that Jey Uso is over. And I'm not just talking about any kind of over. He is megastar over. And I noticed this when Raw came to Houston before WrestleMania. And I went there live. That was the night where Cody Rhodes cried. And then The Rock fried him up on social media about it. And I noticed the crowd reaction to Jey Uso. I was there. And I noticed everybody was doing the yeet. Is that what we're calling this? The yeet? The yeet? Whatever. It's no longer the raise the roof. It's the yeet. Okay. But everyone was involved in it. And I said to myself, oh, he's over. I had a feeling that it was going to be something special. But even I could not have imagined how over he would be now. That France crowd, I imagine he would have eventually gotten there, but going to France just expedited it. So now, Jey Uso has hit a level of over that has rarely been seen in a fucking dog's age. I'm serious. It's one of those overs that is rare. Y'all, he is so over that I'm scared that WWE might not have a choice but to find a way to capitalize on it. Because think about it this way. For him to maintain this momentum, Homeboy can't just keep going out there and losing. Because he's going to lose it. So when you're this over, you almost have to have him win his matches. Because you need to find a way to capitalize on it. So I had a feeling, because of how over he was, that he was going to beat Ilja Dragunov. Now, let me just say this. If it was up to me, Ilja would have beaten Jey Uso. Period. That was my idea. The more I think about it, the more I think it was a good idea to not have Ilja win this match, because when we think about Gunther versus Ilja, number one, that's not a Raw match. That's a pay-per-view match. That, my friends, is a SummerSlam match. Okay? Ilja Dragunov and Gunther ain't no kind of match that you should put on free TV. That is a big 4 pay-per-view, one-on-one slugfest. Especially if you want to redo their UK match where they slapped the piss out of each other. So if the feud is Gunther and Dragunov after this, when Gunther, of course, is going to be King of the Ring, that's a SummerSlam bout. So you know what? I'm not upset about it. At the same time, I want to prepare you for something. Someone said Bash in Berlin. That works too. Bash in Berlin, SummerSlam, whatever you want to do, I'm with it. I am with it. Okay? Regardless of what you want to do, that's for the future. Right now, in this moment, Jey Uso is one of the most popular, most over talents in wrestling. You need to cultivate that. You have to capitalize. This is why I was pushing for him to win that title in Backlash in France. But they didn't do it. So they gotta give him something. So don't be surprised. I'm not saying he's gonna do it, but don't be surprised if Jey Uso beats Gunther next week. Because I know a lot of people, me included, we're assuming that Gunther's winning the entire thing. Right? I don't know if we're ever going to see Jey Uso this over ever again. That's another thing, too, we're not considering. Jey Uso is so over. There comes a point in time where you have to put aside, all right, logically speaking, would it be the right time? You know what I mean? It's one of those things where even I have to go, all right, as much as I want Gunther to be King Gunther, man, what a way to really establish Jey if he outright just wins King of the Ring. I don't know. What would y'all do? I think we're at a point where Jey is so over, we have to give him a championship. Which championship is the question? Maybe the IC title? Maybe we have Chad Gable win that title in Saudi Arabia, carry that shit to SummerSlam, and then have Jey Uso beat him there. Why not? I wouldn't be against that. Something to think about. But regardless of what we do with them, we gotta do something. We have to understand that when someone is this over, it needs to be protected as much as possible. You don't gloss over it. You don't do what Vince McMahon would do and just ignore it. No, he's over. Take advantage of it. Do something with it. Now, unfortunately, I don't see them doing too much with him as a single star after King of the Ring, because I can see him getting involved with the bloodline. So, what will most likely happen, and this is just me fantasy booking, I could be absolutely wrong by the time we get to SummerSlam, but I can see them, of course, Jey Uso loses to Gunther next week. Then maybe Jimmy comes back somehow. They get into a spat, a tit for tat. And then probably around the summer, they reconcile. Roman comes back. And then it's Bloodline Civil War for SummerSlam. Roman's bloodline, Solo's bloodline. This also includes Jacob Fatu. Right? So that would be insane. And so you do that for SummerSlam. And then, of course, Rock and Cody. And then I'm assuming since Jay's not going to be going for the IC title, you still do Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. That would be your IC title feud. I'm also assuming we're going to be doing CM Punk and Drew McIntyre for the world title. We're going to be doing Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. They're going to be doing, for the SmackDown Women's title, probably Bayley versus Nia Jax. Actually, no. Bayley versus Bianca Belair. That feels right. Bayley and Bianca. With Bianca as the heel. That feels right. Do that. Do that. Ooh, I like this card already. I like it already. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I'm assuming we'll do DIY taking on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I can see the Creed brothers going into SummerSlam as the Raw Tag Team champs. As heels, by the way. So, the stories are there. And then the ultimate match, of course, will have Logan Paul taking on the fastest rising superstar in all of WWE with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. That card I just laid out to you. Woo! What a card that is. What a card I just laid out. I'd pay $50 on that immediately. Not immediately, but immediately. I can't wait. I can't wait. I am so pumped for the possibility of SummerSlam. Because there's still so much we can do with this roster. A lot of people are only sitting on what we're seeing on TV. I'm looking forward. I'm looking ahead. I'm projecting what we could be getting. And I am beyond excited for the future. Because think about this for a minute. Think about this. Right now, we're kind of in a down period for WWE. We're just getting good wrestling. It's going to turn up when Rock comes back, when Roman comes back, you know they're coming back for the summer. Rock's already filming. He's currently filming for a movie right now. People are saying it's going to take, I think they're saying it's going to take 3 months. Let me see. So if he started filming like immediately after WrestleMania, so April, May, maybe July. But he'll probably be back at the beginning of July, and then we can begin that build to SummerSlam. It's not going to take that much to build to it. The build is already there. And also, The Rock can always just pop up here and there to say hello to begin that build to SummerSlam. But yeah, damn, that's going to be a hell of a SummerSlam. I just got myself excited about it. And there's so much going on here. Like, there are certain stories I don't know where it's going. So they added Carlito to the mix of the Judgment Day. I'm noticing that Dominic Mysterio is associating himself with a lot of Latinos. Well, Damian Priest is also Latino, but you know what I mean. He's associating himself with a lot of people outside the Judgment Day. So you know where that's going. They're teasing a breakup there, and they're also teasing something with Dom and Liv Morgan. Excited about that one. Guys, you don't want to stop watching at this time. I would have, trust me when I tell you this, I would have been the first one to tell you, go ahead and take your break. Because usually, and I used to do this, usually after WrestleMania, I myself go on a break from live streams. I say, you know what, y'all, we're going to just take a break from live streams until SummerSlam, right? You notice I didn't stop. I don't plan on stopping. I don't plan on stopping my live streams for WWE. Because the momentum is so hot. Everything is so on fire. The stories are so palpable. There's a lot going on right now. I feel like I don't feel the need to stop live streaming. Even during a down period like this, shit's still going on. I promise you, before you know it, you're going to wake up, and I mean this, you're going to wake up, and then WWE's going to be booming again. Because it's going to happen like that over time. It's going to happen just like that. Even SmackDown. Because again, like I said, if The Rock's going to take on Cody Rhodes, that's going to carry SmackDown. Rock and Cody on SmackDown. And then Drew and Punk are going to carry Raw. And then in the meantime, you got other, feuds on the side. Rhea Ripley will be coming back for Liv Morgan. Like I said, the tag team title situation. I'm assuming the Creed brothers will be going after the tag team titles on Raw because they'll be joining up with Chad Gable. Chad Gable abusing the Alpha Academy, which is giving him he'll take the title away from Sami Zayn. So we'll do Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Jey Uso will be joining the Bloodline, so it'll be Jimmy and Jay with Roman taking on Solo's Bloodline. So that's going to be a thing. Oh my God! I'm telling you, guys. You are going to flip your lid when we get to the summer. The summer is going to be fire. So, I'm willing to chill. I'm willing to chill. I'm willing to let things just sit. You get me? I'm excited. I am excited. I cannot wait. But in the meantime, let's just talk about wrestling. Let's just get a few weeks or at least a month of just good wrestling. And see, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of the times, my issues with AEW, which we will talk about this week, trust me, we got a very, very important AEW video coming for you on Wednesday. I did a poll, by the way. Those of you who don't know, I put up some polls on all social medias. The YouTube tab, community tab, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's about it. I didn't put anything up on Instagram. I probably should. But regardless, I would like you guys, when you have a free time, when you have a minute and you have free time, is what I was trying to say, go to that poll and vote. It could be on any of the social medias. I want to know how you honestly feel about AEW. Because my biggest issue, and I got a lot more to say, trust me, but one of my biggest issues is I don't feel like there's a story. Okay, let me put it to you this way. There are stories, but there's not a focal point. I don't really sense that we're going anywhere with AEW. There's no destination. Shit's just happening. You know, with WWE, even when they're doing filler episodes, there's an overarching story. Stuff's happening. You see it developing in front of your eyes. Right? So, eventually, bow, it's going to hit you in the face and you're going to be like, what happened? What happened? Stay tuned. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be talking about it. And hopefully you guys will be here with me. So, hey, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to Monday Night Raw. As always, we'll do the sponsorships. We'll do the plugs. I'll say hello to the live chat as they are already here on the screen, but we'll give them their proper due. But thank you all so much for choosing me for your live review. So let's go ahead and do things the right way and say, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it. Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership. Click that join button and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Spotify. That's swagger. Threads, Cameo, and most importantly, TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, VENMO, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Gillespie t-shirt, get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. America! The remix t-shirt made by It's J Knox and Firestar Heart. All of this down below in the description box. Ladies and gentlemen, today's sponsor is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is trying to get you a discount for any ticket purchase. Maybe you're someone that wants to go to a wrestling show. Maybe you're someone that wants to go to a concert. Maybe you want to go to a sporting event. Maybe you want to catch them Astros. Maybe you want to catch a little bit of that NBA. But them tickets be expensive, bruh. Well, guess what? I can give you a leg up on that. If you get your tickets off of SeatGeek today, Junior, using the link down below, and you use the promo code JustAlex at checkout, I can get you $20. I said $20. I said what? $20 off your first ticket purchase. So how's about we get a quick word from our sponsor, and then we will get to some shout outs. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. If you're a wrestling fan looking for access to great seats for any wrestling event near you, then you want to use this app. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek stands as the unrivaled #1 ticketing app in the market today. SeatGeek constantly delivers incredible deals on ticket prices. When you're exploring the app, keep an eye out for the special green dots that mark the best deals. What's even better is that every ticket you purchase is backed by SeatGeek's buyer guarantee, with the option to return your tickets and even swap them before the events. So here's an exclusive for you. If you click the link down below and use the promo code JustAlex, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Yes, $20 off any ticket that you purchase using the promo code JustAlex. This is a sweet deal that you could use literally right now. So don't wait. Click the link, download the app, and join the SeatGeek family today. Thank you all so much for being here. Lovely, lovely people here in the live chat. I want to say really quickly, thank you to all the people who are joining me live for this live stream. But if you're watching me afterwards, also know that, hey, check this out. I keep tabs on everything. That includes the comments. So if you're watching this after the fact and you end up watching it all, do me a favor. In the comments below, hashtag I watched it all. So I know how many people are actually watching my streams after the fact. Because I want to know, like, what's the number looking like? So I would really appreciate that. It looks like we got a troll. We got a troll here. One of the mods, get this bot real quick. Thank you. Who was it? Khalil does everything. Boom. Boom. Instantly. Man, it's so good to have Khalil back. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Khalil has returned. Khalil took a small break to get his mind right. So it's good to have him here. Thank you so much for being here. Khalil does everything. 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 And thank you to all the people who sent him good, get well wishes and checking in on him. That's really, really cool. Speaking of the moderators, how about we show some love to the rest of them? This includes Ultra, Shadow 97, Firestar Heart, Elias, a Demon New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Highway Dealing Danger. Of course, Khalil does everything, and of course, Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Most importantly, it is imperative that you guys hit that like button. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Super chats are on. Get your super chats in. I think I see the super chat champion. Ladies and gentlemen, always show your love and appreciate greatness when you see it. Corporate Clyde. Corp CA, your current super chat champ, has paid us a visit on his part-time schedule. Because you see, the champ, when he defends the belt, it's a big deal. And the next time he defends his belt is at SummerSlam in August. So I'm excited to see how well that defense is going to go and how many people will show up. But we also are in the presence of royalty because we also got the top, and I mean the top reaction channel for the wrestling space here on YouTube. Everyone show your love to A&B Convo's Wrestling Edition. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining me. I just came from their live stream. We are family. We are family. We family. We support each other. So interact with them, get to know them, because they here for you like they here for me. Shout outs. Or super chats.
Being the super chat champ has its perks. I'll be out of the country on vacation for both King, Queen of the Ring and Money in the Bank, but I will be ready for SummerSlam because I'm in God mode.
That boy said he in God mode. Well, champ, you enjoy your Roman Reigns vacation. You enjoy your Roman Reigns time off. And I hope you get as much time in the sun to recuperate. I just came up more. Recuperate. To heal up, get your mind right. Because when you get back here for SummerSlam, it's gonna be a hot mess. Man, imagine that Super Chat Championship battle. Corp CA, Franklin Torres, the Farmers, and maybe the permanent farmer, nicknamed Mai. And then, of course, you had 3 Diglets, who's also eyeing the champ. The storylines are powerful, ladies and gentlemen. They're powerful here, they're powerful in WWE, because we tell stories. We storytellers here. Get used to your champ and show him the love while he here, because you just never know. You never know how things are going to go. Shout outs. I see Ethan Zarkarbach, Nintendo Porn Company Kun, Spirasay in his house. We got JJ, who let the dogs out? Who? JJ Bulldog, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. And then we got the Nature Boy, Jody Bennett. Woo! What's good, Jody? We got Joe Shipley. We got Shaw Yisrael. Shalom. Shaw. We got Debit Money. Debit Money Adams. I see Jake, the aerial assassin. I see Sean Swaby. Baby! In his house. Good to have you here, Sean Swaby. Your goatness, Lauren Biggs. Yes, I know. Your goatness. You're like, well, ain't that kind of arrogant? No, not for Lauren. You will address her as your goatness. And every time I read her statement, I will say, thank you, your goatness. That's what you do. Every time she tweets, every time she puts out a message, you go, thank you, your goatness. Slam Tackle TV. I also see Dulcie Chatham. I see Lee Mexico. Let me go up a little bit. I think I might have skipped over some people by accident. Let me see. We had that troll here. Thank you for taking care of the troll. That just throws everything off. Big Gusta! Big Gusta! What's good, Big Gusta? And I think I'm going to give the last one to... Let me be sure I didn't skip over anybody here. Okay, I think I basically might have called everyone's name. Actually, the more I look at the chat, I think I literally just went through everybody. Oh, no, I didn't. I lied. YouTube member Xavier Jackson. How did I miss Xavier Jackson? He green too. My bad, Xavier. Good to have you here, Ben. Look, if I don't say your name, it's not because I hate you. I do want to spend as much time as I can on these reviews. I think I spend so much time interacting with the live chat that sometimes I forget to, you know what, Alyx? People are here to hear you talk about wrestling, not talk about the people who are here. So, your wish is my command. Super chats are still on. Get your donations in, and we'll look at them after the review. Monday Night Raw was live in Greenville, South Carolina. Sold out Wellness Arena. They're selling out these things like it's nothing, man. I don't even know what the number was. What was the number? Let me look it up. I love going to WrestleTix. I love going to WrestleTix to look at the numbers for especially WWE because they be knocking this shit out. Oh, okay, so how big is the arena? It must not be that big of an arena. I mean, let me look this up because they only did 9,000. Huh. Let me look this up. How big is it? Must not be a big arena then. Okay, a capacity. Actually, no. It's a 15,000 seat arena. Interesting. So they must have not. No, that doesn't seem right because I think it was more than. It was a lot more than 8,000, 9,000 in there. So let me do a little bit more research to find out what the number was. But WrestleTix has it at 9,000. Which, by the way, that's not a bad number. But I was told it was sold out. So I think it might be a little bit more than 9,000, honestly. So I'm thinking somewhere between 11 or 12. But I still, hey. They said it was sold out. So if it was a 15,000 seat arena, probably around 11, 12,000. Yeah, 10,000 or more, probably. Let's do a little bit more research on that before I tell you something that's not absolutely true. Someone said it was more. I guess this is from someone inside the arena. He's saying it was around 13,000. There you go. I kind of felt like when looking at that building, it was a packed building. So when it's that packed, it's gotta be somewhere between 12 or 13,000. Maybe they did 14, 15, but man, sometimes you just don't know. But regardless, it was a great crowd, and they were given a really, really great show. Like I said, the storylines were hot tonight. The show opens with Drew McIntyre coming out looking like a boss, Rick Ross. And listen here, Drew has embraced his role as a main event player. His microphone skills, I cannot believe I'm saying this. Drew might be one of the best talkers in wrestling today. Like all-around performers, as that goes, he's up there. He has embraced his role as a main event player in all the best ways. But he gets on the microphone and says, the greatest trick CM Punk ever pulled was looking like a drug addict without ever taking drugs. Yo! He stay hating on CM Punk. But he did go on to say, getting us to trust him after he broke our trust. Drew says he doesn't understand it. And he doesn't understand why we keep buying the things that Punk says. He talks trash about Jey Uso. Jey Uso. Who's Jey Uso? He talks trash about Jey Uso failing to win the title, saying he's a failure, but then he stole his, of course, King of the Ring spot, and he holds a grudge against him. But that's when Damian Priest, your world champion, walked into the picture. Priest gets on the microphone and says Drew has some serious issues. And since he can't shut the hole in his face, he should do something different and say what he's going to say to someone's face. McIntyre says he'd love to say it to Punk's face, but he keeps running away every week. But since Damian is here, he's going to say something positive to him. He's worked his ass off for years. Drew gives him his flowers. He says he worked his ass off for years. He's paid his dues. He says he deserves all the success. He deserves all the success in the world. But he doesn't deserve that title. He says his next door neighbor, Dave, has a very inspirational story. That doesn't mean he deserves a title. Basically called Damian Priest a charity case. Ouch. He says Damian Priest is a case where the title is making the man, and the man should be making the title. He calls Damian Priest a coward for using the briefcase in so many words, and Priest calls him delusional and asks him, didn't you choose this life? Damian points out that Drew himself said if he was smart, he'd wait and cash in on Drew. And Damian said, hey, I took your advice. I took your advice, Drew. I waited to cash in on you. You did that. And all you had to do was grab your wife's hand at WrestleMania and leave. But you were so obsessed with CM Punk that you left yourself open. And then he hit him with the line of the night. He said, you love CM Punk more than your own wife. You're more obsessed with CM Punk than your own wife. He gonna kill him. And then Damian Priest said, if you want a title shot, you got it. But I'm gonna make you eat your words. So, this, my friends, is the plan for Clash at the Castle. It's gonna be Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the world title. I think that is the main event. That's what they're planning to do. And I think the plan is to have Drew McIntyre win that world title and then defend it against CM Punk at SummerSlam. So, Drew's going to get his legit moment at Clash. And I wanted to talk about that really quickly. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about the news when it comes to ticket prices currently for Clash at the Castle. Apparently, they are so high. The price for tickets, to buy a ticket at Clash, is so high, fans are complaining that it's extortion. Because think about it this way. The traveling costs, and then of course taking care of the talent, it must be ridiculously high. Which is part of the reason why Vince McMahon was never, ever, ever going to do what Nick Khan is doing now. Because for it to make sense, for it to happen, they would have to charge fans an arm and a leg to accommodate. Otherwise, the WWE would be losing money, right? But luckily, since they're hot right now, I mean, look at what happened in France. I think the lowest ticket price for France was like $300. And they sold that bitch out. So, yes, there are people that are complaining about, well, the ticket prices are too high for Clash at the Castle. Somebody's going to pay for that ticket. Somebody is going to pay for it. And you know damn well they're going to sell out Clash at the Castle like they did 2 years ago. So, that's business, man. That's just business. You can sit here all day and say that's not right. Hey, that's business for you. Someone actually said that it's $300 for Clash at the Castle, right? I mean, if I'm Nick Khan and I know I can sell these tickets at the highest bidder and you'll pay for it, what do you do? What do you do? So, people are going to have their issues with that. It's business, man. That's business. But we move on. Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler. Quarterfinal match for the Queen of the Ring tournament. I thought this match was excellent. I thought both of them had good chemistry. I've always thought Shayna and Io were just natural in-ring performers because they've had some excellent matches on NXT as well. So it wasn't that hard for them to, click and pick it back up. And Io and her went toe-to-toe, back and forth. And the crowd usually the crowd is very cold for women's matches. They weren't for this one. They were on their feet. They loved it, as they should. Love the stiffness. They were hitting each other hard. You saw Shayna Baszler attack Io Sky before the match. Inverted knee arm breakers and targeting her knees. There was a spot in the match where Io Sky does an Asai moonsault to the outside, right? Like a la Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio. And then I love that as they were going to commercial break, they played the moonsault. Like how you're watching basketball and football, they'll do a great play, and then before going to commercial break, they'll play it in slow motion. I like that they did that with Io Sky and Shayna Baszler. That was really, really cool. Great transition, by the way. But there was a really, really cool, I forgot what it was called. It was an awesome, this really cool roll-up that Io Sky did. It was like a schoolboy / bridged roll-up that Shayna Baszler countered into the Kirifuda clutch. I couldn't describe it any better than that. I'm sorry. But eventually Io Sky gets out of it and hits the moonsault to pin her. So it was an excellent match. An excellent match all around. And definitely one that I would recommend you go see. So Io Sky is going to the semifinals next week. And she will take on the winner of the next match. So this is when they began the storyline with, they began it last week. They started it last week. With Carlito showing up in Judgment Day, and they're just like, get the fuck out. You turned on LWO. We're not going to trust you here. Right? But this week, Carlito came in with Dominic Mysterio, and Damian Priest is like, all right. I don't trust you. I don't like you. But tell you what, they trust you for some reason, so it's not my business. And so Carlito is kind of trying to let him know, like, look, I'm only here to help. You can trust me. You can trust Carlito. You can't. You shouldn't. But, he's like, look, I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. If you help me out with Rey Mysterio and LWO, I'll help you out with what you're doing with the tag team title situation. And he's like, all right, sure. I think after this is when we got the Chad Gable segment, right? Yeah. Chad Gable was frying them asses up. He got his troops lined up, looking like a bunch of saps. I didn't know they stacked shit that high. Berates Maxine Dupree, calls her Taylor Not So Swift. Berates Otis, if I see you do that goddamn worm dance again. And then tells Akira Tozawa to stop being a fucking goof. That's why y'all lose too goddamn much. Just straight up verbally abusing them. And then I love that you see Ivy Nile come in, talking to Maxine, and says, hey, why you let him talk to you like that? And she's like, it's because he's only trying to help us. And I love that. I like that she's like, look, this is, you don't know Gable. I know Gable. I know he's only doing this because we lose all the time. And he's trying to motivate us. I relate to that so fucking hard. I relate to that so hard because I've been there too. Where you know damn well that what they're going through is a hot mess and he's abusing the fuck out of them. But they take the blame because they have been losing. So you can believe why they would stay. Right? Because they want to win and they trust in Chad to get them there. But You know damn well when this storyline gets to its climax, it's gonna be fire. Lillian Garcia. Miss Lillian made her little special appearance alongside a lovely Samantha Irvin. Look here, I love Lillian like I love me some Alicia Taylor and some Samantha Irvin. And she basically put her over, saying that she's doing a great job. And she did the announcement for Kofi Kingston and Gunther for their match. So they announced them. They come out. Gunther versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi got a lot of offense on Gunther early, but Gunther essentially came back and just dominated him. And won with the Boston Crab. Look, I don't have an issue with Kofi and or Xavier Woods inside the ring. I think they're both excellent talent in terms of wrestling. But their New Day characters are stale, boring, and outdone. I am ready for something new. Can Kofi Kingston please turn heel? Please. Please turn heel, Kofi. Do something different. So after Kofi lost, we go backstage and we see Karrion Kross, who looks at him and says, "Don't worry, there's always time to change." And I said to myself, I don't care what the fuck this is leading to. Get away from the New Day gimmick. This New Day gimmick is boring. It's outdone. It doesn't do anything for anybody. No one really cares about it. It's gotten to the point now where I am begging them to do something different. Something different. Oh, what about the power of positivity? Who gives a fuck? I'm over it. Please turn heel. Do something different with Kofi. Something, please. Let me see here. We got the reintroduction of Kiana James. She used a big word. Adulate, something like that. And then R-Truth says she's here to what? Oh, you can't do that. That's not even PG. Because it sounded like, it sounded like masturbate, goddammit. It sounded like masturbate. It was hilarious. He's a national treasure. Goddammit. I think after this, we got Akira Tozawa versus Big Bronson Reed. You can imagine how that went. Akira Tozawa got his ass whooped by Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable fried his ass up. Loser. You stink. And then after this, they did Lyra Valkyria versus Zoey Stark. Okay, so tournament round match, Queen of the Ring, quarterfinals. Lyra Valkyria. I think she's also Irish, like Becky Lynch. Taking on Zoey Stark. Match was good. They actually had a few really cool spots in there that I think a lot of fans don't really appreciate. I think for me, this is just how I feel. I'm not really seeing what's special about Lyra Valkyria. Is it just me? Like, I feel like I'm supposed to think she's special, right? Like, everyone's saying, yo, this woman is really, really good. She's a special talent. She's a special talent. She's a special talent. I don't really see it. I mean, she's good inside the ring. She's a good athlete. But she doesn't pop to me in terms of her personality as a character. She doesn't. She's just kind of there. Right? Even when she's backstage, and she does a backstage promo with Liv Morgan, by the way. And Liv Morgan comes up to her, says, "Welcome to Raw." And then she asks her, "Why is Becky Lynch such a bitch?" And then she turns around, Liv Morgan turns around. "Why don't you ask her yourself?" Becky, boom, punches her in the face, and then calls her a bitch, and then they walk off. And then, of course, that will lead to Liv Morgan getting her revenge later on. But even in those segments, I'm like, she doesn't really stand out to me. You know what I mean? It was adjudicate. There you go. Adjudicate. Thank you. Adjudicate. I thought it was adulate. My bad. Adjudicate. Does sound like masturbate, but adjudicate. Yeah, I don't really see it. Maybe as time goes by, we get her a character, I might be more invested in her, but as a talent? I don't know. But anyways, we'll see. Maybe over time I'll start to like her more. She just got here, so she has plenty of time to impress me. How about that? Oh, Otis. Otis took on Sami Zayn. And Chad Gable told his big ass not to do the caterpillar or the centipede. Whatever the fuck that move is. Is it the caterpillar? Let me look at this. Yeah, it's a caterpillar. And Otis was like, but I want to do it. I can't help it. And then he did it anyways. And then, as you can imagine, the caterpillar leads to Otis getting his ass whooped. Haluva kick, pinned him 1, 2, 3. And Chad is furious. Chad jumps in the ring, starts shoving Otis, pushing Otis, spitting on him, talking trash to him, to the point where Sami Zayn had to come and save him. He does a fucking T-bone suplex into the ring post to Gable. And then, to everyone's surprise, Otis saves him. Otis is like, no, it's okay. You don't have to hurt him no more. It's okay. And then, after Otis saved Chad shoved Otis off of him and said, what happened in the ring today? That's your fault, Otis. And then he literally smacked the shit out of him. Paintbrushed the hell out of Otis. And Otis puts his head down and goes, you're right. I'm a piece of shit. You're an idiot sandwich, Otis. I'm an idiot sandwich. In all seriousness, this was sad. This was dark. Even I was like, this got real dark real quick. And you understand it. You understand why Chad has gone this dark. Because he's sick of losing. And he's so consumed by his losses that he's willing to go to these dark depths to pick out a win. And in looking for that win, becoming obsessed with that victory, he completely just became a monster to his friends. And they don't know it because they believe that Chad Gable is trying to motivate them to be better. And all he's doing is abusing them. He's abusing Otis. He's abusing Maxine. He's abusing Akira Tozawa. But in reality, it was a teachable moment. Because, see, what happened was, if Otis wasn't being a dumbass and doing the caterpillar, he might have won. Or at least looked better. He really deserved that slap. You want to know why he deserved that slap? Because Chad Gable is the man. And I'm sorry. I will always be proud to be an American and a big Chad Gable fan. Thank you! Whether you like it or not. I love it. I love this storyline. I love how dark it's getting. You already know that when Alpha Academy eventually turns on Chad Gable, it's going to be a huge moment. But don't worry. He'll replace them with better people. Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers. You know it's coming, right? You know it's coming. Let me see here. Braun Breaker. Although Braun Breaker wasn't in the segment. Braun Breaker was confronted backstage by the GM. And they asked him, why was Braun Breaker not in the tournament? And he's like, well, I don't want to put him in the tournament too soon. And Breaker's like, look here, bitch. When you give me this TV time, I'm going to run through everybody. And it will become my show. Just so we're clear. Now, Braun Strowman, the other Braun, ran into, who is this? JD McDonough. Okay? And he's like, don't get in our business again, Braun Strowman. And Braun's like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Literally, he's like, get the fuck out of my face. I think after this, they did Becky Lynch and Dakota Kai. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Dakota Kai looked like $1 million, and Becky didn't look so well. I thought Dakota Kai actually looked better than Becky did in this match. And I was kind of upset that Dakota didn't just get some type of a rub from it. But as always, you're trying to protect people. You can't have Dakota lose all her matches. So Becky ends up getting attacked by Damage Control. So the match ends in a DQ. Then Lyra Valkyria comes out to make the save. And then Liv Morgan comes out to beat up Becky Lynch to get back at her for punching her in the face. Listen, like I said before, I think Becky Lynch has lost her edge. She's not as interesting as she used to be. So when Liv Morgan gets that title, it would be a lot more fun to watch. That's for sure. I think after this, we got the Fatal 4-Way tag match to determine who fights R-Truth and Miz at the pay-per-view. And Judgment Day won. Judgment Day won that match. It was a good match. Nothing else to really say about it. They did feature, let me see who was in this match. They had the Authors of Pain. They had the Creed Brothers, New Catch Republic, and then Judgment Day. So Finn Balor and JD McDonough won that match. So we'll see where that one goes. And then the main event of the evening. Main event, Jey Uso, the Yeet Master, who had one of the best entrances, or who has one of the best entrances in WWE history. Man came out over like Rover. And they actually did the Fireflies, or the Yeet Lights. Get the Yeet Lights up. But it's a tribute to Bray Wyatt in the Firefly entrance. It looked amazing in Greenville. They were yeeting their asses off. They yeeted everywhere. It was so much yeet, I don't know how you clean it up. Pause. But yeah, it's just a sight to see. Everyone's gonna shit on it, thinking like, well, Jey Uso is just an entrance. Jey Uso is just an entrance. It's just an entrance. Shh. Your mama. No, I'm just joking. No, I think Jey Uso is one of those talents that has a particular moveset that's more geared to the crowd. He's not going to be the kind of guy that's going to perform like Will Ospreay. Everything that he does is for the yeets. So just keep that in mind. Now, Ilja Dragunov got in there, and I thought him and Jey had a really good match. It was a really good, very strong match. And I already knew that Jey was going to win. I think Ilja should have won, but keep this in mind. Like I said before, Jey is hot right now. You have to capitalize on him. And I know as much as people want to see Ilja Dragunov and Gunther, because they teased that match. There was a face-off between Gunther and Ilja Dragunov on this show. It was amazing. It was 10 seconds, but it was great. But I said to myself, when you do Gunther and Ilja Dragunov, should that be on Raw or should that be at a pay-per-view? You know where that should be. Not on Raw. So I had a feeling that Jey Uso was going to win, and yeah, I thought Ilja Dragunov put him over like $1 million. He looked good. So Jey Uso does beat him, and he will fight Gunther next week. Don't worry, Jey is not going to beat Gunther. Although, I want to make this very clear to you. I don't think Jey's going to beat Gunther. Don't be surprised if he does. WWE has been trying to find a way to capitalize on Jey Uso's momentum. What better way to do it than with King of the Ring? So, if you enjoy Jey Uso and you want to see him get all the rewards and all his, at least reap what he sows and all his fruits bear, let me hear you say, yeet. We'll see. All right, thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, it was a great episode. I know that we've entered a period of time where WWE is not as hot and the shows are not going to be as noteworthy and people are talking about it, and that's fine. I enjoy it for the wrestling, and that's all I care about. It was a great night for professional wrestling, and I really just believe that it's just not a good time to stop watching. Things are going to pick up when the summer happens, and you're not going to see it coming. Yeet. So give me your thoughts down below. Live chat. Where we at? Where y'all at? Where we at? Where we at? Yeah. Where we at? Yeah. Where you at? Where you at? Alright. How y'all feel about the show? Give me your thoughts. Give me a rating. So give me a rating. You can give me a... Oh, we got the troll is back. Let me see how fast it takes for people to get rid of the troll. Okay, the troll's here. Who gonna get him? Who gonna get that troll real quick? Is it gonna be me? Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Khalil does. Khalil does everything with the swiftness. He's swift with it. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. But yeah, like that's one of those things where you get the troll just spamming, and it gets old after a while. He got yeeted though. Get that yeet out of here. But anyways, like, it's good to have you hack. Khalil does everything. Good to have you here, Chief. Alright, so what y'all think? Give me a score. 1 out of 10. And then give me a grade. Of course, A being the highest, B being good, C being aight, D being and then F being that shit sucked. What y'all think? How we feeling about Raw? JJ Bulldog says this was a good episode. I know Gunther will probably beat Jey Uso, but Dragunov really had a lot of potential in his matches. Dragunov's not going nowhere, y'all. He's gonna find his way to get over eventually, and I think he'll do wonders by himself. He didn't really need to win King of the Ring, so we're good. Let me see here. Joseph Winter says, honestly, I want Ilja versus Gunther too. But makes sense why they had Jey win. Exactly. Jey Uso is the most over talent they got right now, so you don't want to squander his momentum here. There was a QR code which I missed. I'm not keeping up with the QR codes, guys. I don't really care. Just debut them. Just debut them. We'll see how it works. Your Goatness says, breaking news, Kofi Kingston will not be able to twerk after losing to Gunther. Nah, 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 nah. Back to you, Just Alyx. Thank you, Your Goatness. Your Goatness has spoken. And again, Your Goatness says, it's called Yeetamania. You heard it here first from Your Goatness. Thank you, Your Goatness. I love this. This is fun. That's actually a really cool gimmick to have. Alright, so Your Goatness gives it a B+. Gives the show a B+. Doxy Chatham gives the show an 8 out of 10. 8 yeets out of 10. Jody Bennett, woo! Gave it an A++. Says it was one of the best episodes of Raw that he's ever seen. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition gave it a B+, A-. Khalil Does Everything gives it an 8.5 out of 10. JJ gives it a 8 out of 10. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if there are any more grades here. None yet so far. We'll get to the rest of them later. Let me scroll back up and read the rest of your comments. Let me see here. Xavier Jackson says, why does this fool stick his nose where it doesn't belong? Man, I don't know. He just be trolling. See about playing Cat Mouse is awesome. Yeah, him playing Roadrunner to Drew McIntyre's Wile E. Coyote. It's fucking great. It's really, really good. Adjudicate. Again, I'm gonna give Kiana James a shot. Yo with Pink Panther says, yo, hey Zach, I did not know you like K-pop. Oh, K-pop. We got K-pop fans in the house? I like K-pop. Lauren Biggs, that was me posting the QR code. I might be debuting soon. Well, thank you, Your Goatness. And if you're wrestling Your Goatness, I hope you win a championship. I did see that Kurt Angle wants to join Chad Gable's new heels team. The new heels team. New heel team. With, I think I combined stable with team. New heel stable with the Chads. Jesus Christ. The Creeds. the Creeds and Chad Gable with Ivy Nile. He wants to join that stable. Fuck. I can't talk today. Lord have mercy. Alright, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me for the stream. I'm not going nowhere. WWE is hot right now. I'm excited. This week, big AEW video releasing. It's gonna be so big, honestly, I might go live. Might. Nah, I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna upload this video because I think it's too important. But I do encourage you all to vote on the polls. You can vote on Discord. You can vote on the YouTube tab. You can vote on Twitter. You can vote on Facebook. But please vote on the polls because I believe this is going to be one of the most important videos I ever make when it comes to AEW. And you're not going to want to miss it. So, thank you all so much for being here. As you follow out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. Love you all. Catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, and forever, forever, ever, forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Oh, when you're